Man, I'm having so much fun on this e-bike. I just can't quit riding it. If you guys want to see the specs on this thing, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you guys get notified and don't miss it. What I love about this thing, I mean, it's super fast. This thing cruises pretty good, especially with a full battery. I mean, you can see here how fast I'm going, flying around. If you guys want to see how fast this goes, I'll be doing a video on that as well, trying to see if the speedometer is accurate. I'm going to be comparing it to this digital speed sign that's out in front of my house. How convenient for that to be just sitting there. Another thing I like about this thing, if you don't want to go super fast like I am here, I mean, you could just cruise really slow like this and take in the scenery and just drive around at your own pace. So let's check this thing out. Hey, what's up guys? So I just drained my first battery on my Lectric XP electric bicycle here, and I wanted to give you guys a quick update on my first battery drain, how far I got and what my environment was, and a few things I noticed about your energy bar and your voltage and current. Your maximum low voltage cutoff point is 40 volts. When your voltage here, when you go into your settings and it shows your voltage of your battery, when you're riding that and it hits 40 volts, it's going to cut your assist out and the motor's not going to work, and it's going to give you an error code of E06, I believe. Your lowest cutoff is 40 volts and your maximum charge is 54.6, and that's going to correspond with your energy bar up here. So basically I'm out of power now. It was actually limiting me on my amp. If you hit your menu button here on your settings, you'll see how much current your motor is pulling. Now I'm still on PAS 5, everything's set to max, but being that my voltage was down to about 42 volts, when I was giving it throttle, it was only actually at like 40.3 volts, so it wasn't cutting out yet, but it was only giving me 3 amps of current here, so it wasn't assisting much. When I went up a hill, I could definitely feel that it wasn't assisting very much, but on level ground, it wasn't too bad. I was still getting 10, 12 mile an hour, I believe, but you're definitely going to notice it in those hills. So even though the battery's low, you're still going to get some assist, but you're not going to get the maximum assist if you're in a really hilly environment. Talk about a tongue twister. So basically, guys, you can keep an eye on your current here, how much assist it's giving you. Once you notice that to start to drop, normally it'll give you maximum 20 amps of current. When that starts dropping and it's only showing, if you're going up a hill with a load on it and it's only giving you like say 8 amps or 3 amps, you know you're definitely getting down to almost nothing there. And you can see my last trip here, I went 5 miles just to try to get that energy down. Now I was in a lot of different settings, PAS 5, I was doing some pedaling, I was definitely going up some pretty steep hills, which actually impressed me that it went up them. I was curious, I didn't think it was going to go up these hills. I did have to pedal a little bit, but trust me, I would have never pedaled up them with a regular bicycle, and they were pretty long too. So it definitely impressed me with the power that it has going up those hills. If you guys are interested, go ahead and comment below and I'll do a video showing you me going up the hill and everything, try to get the angle of it. I mean, it was pretty steep and long. So basically, let me show you the mileage I got here. Now I have 22 miles total on the whole bike itself. When I started out with this full charge, I had about 2 miles on the bike, so I got roughly 20 miles out of this charge. Now, like I said, I was going up a lot of hills, messing around all the settings, putting it in high-speed mode to see how fast I can get it, stuff like that. Normally, I wouldn't be having it in all those settings, messing around, so I probably would get further range. Plus, after a few charges, I'm sure once the battery gets a few charges in it, I'll probably even get further mileage. Now, this is just my first test on range. I'll probably do a few more here and there if I go out on the bike trail or whatever, see how far I can get. But I wanted to do the first test around home just to see kind of what I was looking at as far as what the battery was going to do once the voltage got low. But that was definitely a good thing to know, that you can go through your settings here and just watch your voltage as you're riding. And I'll see if I can show you guys here what I'm talking about. So you can see it's only giving me 1 amp of current now. And I'm still in PAS 5, and that's because my battery voltage is basically down to 40.7, 40.6 as I'm riding. So if you guys keep an eye on that, it'll give you a rough idea when you're about out of battery. But like I said, on that test I got about 20 miles. I think it says you'll get between 25 and 50, which I guarantee I'll get 25 if I stayed in PAS 1 and 2 and took it off the max 28 mile an hour setting. Guaranteed get 25 miles. I'm going to be going on a decently not very long trip, but I'm going to be riding this up to my stepfather's farm, and it's about I think it's around 5 to 7 miles from here. I'm going to go there and back with it, and I'll give you guys an update on that and see how good that trip goes. Alright guys, so far I've been charging it for 5 hours exactly, and it's at 53.3 volts right now, so I got about 1.3 volts to go yet. And one tip I wanted to tell you guys is if you charge the battery in the bike, there's really nothing on the charger to tell you what level it's at or how much more you got to go. But if you charge it in the bike, you can turn the bike on and then go to your volts there, and it'll show you your voltage. So when I started, I was at like 42 point some volts. Now I'm at 53. It has to go to 54.6 before the charger shuts off. So that's a good way to know. Say you want to charge it just to 80% or whatever. They say 80%, you'll get more life out of it. You can monitor it by the voltage on here, and you'll know when to unplug it. If you take the battery out of the bike and charge it, there's no way to know unless that light, I believe it either turns green or goes out. Alright guys, so it's finally done charging. It stopped at 54.6. It's at 54.5 now because the charger is done. When it's fully charged, the light turns green on the charger. So this took 6 hours and 15 minutes exactly to charge from about 40, I think it was like 42 volts or so, up to 54.6. Basically, once you get down to 43 volts, you're pretty much dead. And 54.6 volts is completely full. So I hope that helps you guys out in trying to see how much range you got left, because this energy bar fluctuates so much. And those readings, you're going to want to do those readings without the throttle on. So when you're just sitting there not hitting your throttle and you're around 48 volts, you're basically half your battery life. And when you get to 43, pretty much dead. 54.6, fully charged. And one thing I want to point out is these chargers here, they do get pretty warm to touch whenever they're charging, especially the underside here, probably because there's less airflow underneath. I mean, it's fairly warm to touch. You can see here, it's somewhere around 140 degrees, according to this this heat gun here. It seems like right around this white barcode is about where it usually gets the warmest. So there's 150. I'm not sure if this is 100% accurate, but I'm sure it's close. So just keep that in mind. That does get a little warm. But it is putting out 2 amps. So this is fresh off a charge. I just pulled it off the bike. I wanted to see how hot it was running. And it's actually 58 degrees, and so it's not warm at all. Like I said, just come off the charger. It's actually really cool. I'm surprised. I thought maybe it would be a little warm from charging up for 6 hours and being inside that frame. Although I'm sure that frame acts as a heat sink because it's aluminum. But yeah, definitely, I mean, perfectly cool. Not hot or warm whatsoever. So that's one good thing. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. I'm going to do another video showing you guys the specs on this thing and what you get for your money, which in my opinion is the best e-bike you could buy right now, the end of 2019, for the money with the specs that this thing has. Yes, it does have a few things that I don't like about it, but overall, great experience. Definitely awesome bike. And I'm getting a lot of exercise that I wouldn't normally get because I wouldn't want to go out on my regular bicycle and pedal. So it's getting me out, getting the fresh air, giving me some exercise. My legs definitely feel it. And I did buy a bunch of accessories to put on here. I bought a new cog for the back to change the gearing to make it a little less area of a filling when you're pedaling at high speeds. Got a few holders coming and stuff like that, so I'll show you guys that stuff too. If If you want to see that, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.